Hey fam, welcome back to Alignmental. Roho here with a special request video by my dear friend who requested a specific posture routine. I reminded her that any sort of movement is good for your posture, but I get what homegirl was saying. She wanted something specific for the spine. So we'll get into that. Let me just science you a bit about the spine and why our posture may be bad and why our back is maybe feeling tight. So the spine is made up of discs of bones called our vertebra. In between each of those discs is a little sac called the intervertebral disc, and it's filled with fluid. Throughout the day, as we sit on it and compress it with all of our body weight, the fluid seeps out. And then when we sleep at night in a horizontal position for 8 hours, that is allowed to refill with the fluid. And this fluid is so good for just lubricating the spine so that it doesn't feel tight and so that the spine can absorb impact when we walk, run, jump. That's what it's there for. However, when we sit all day or stand all day or just do the one thing that we do all day, the spine, that fluid just seeps out and there's no opportunity for it to refill. However, if we simply move our spine the way it is intended to, it will get little opportunities to refill with that fluid. So if I bend this way, the sacs on this side can sort of fill a little bit with fluid. This side too, as I bend forward and back. It's not going to be as profound an effect as getting 8 hours of restful sleep in a horizontal position, but the little bit of movement throughout the day can just help to counteract all that pressure of the constant sitting or standing. So today, we're just going to move the spine. Let me show you how it can move. So the spine can move, it can bend to the right and to the left, as I just demonstrated. It can also flex forward, extend backwards, and a yogi favorite is that it can twist. Yogis love twisting. So let's do I won't call it a posture routine, I'll call it a spinal movement routine. Today, grab yourself some yoga blocks if you have, or two thick books of equal width. Really, you just need one actually, because we're just going to be sitting, so something thick and that you can sit on to get some height off the ground. So let's get started. So just position here. So in this cross-legged position, if you would like to sit on a block, just to make it more accessible, because we're going to be here for a while, we're just going to start with some neck circles. So give yourself a double chin, so bring the chin to the chest. And then left ear to left shoulder, keeping the shoulders down. So bring the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Then just look up to the sky with your nose. Don't let the head fall too far back because that can be straining. And then right ear to right shoulder. Then chin to chest. Go one more round on that side, so left ear to left shoulder, nose to sky, right ear to right shoulder, and then chin to chest. Now we'll just go the other way, so right ear to right shoulder, keep those shoulders down, look up to the sky, left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. And we're going slow, so it's more, I know it's not a very fluid circle, but you don't want to fling your neck around, especially this part of your neck, the cervical spine. And chin to chest. Now we're just going to do now we're just going to intensify that just a little bit. So reach the right hand out to your side and slightly behind you and externally rotate at the shoulder blade so your hand turns and the thumb is facing away from you. Then Then lower that left ear to the left shoulder. This reaching away the hand should intensify the stretch down the side of the neck. You can stay here or look to the left shoulder while keeping the neck bent, and then look up to the sky. Look to the left shoulder. Your gaze probably won't make it all the way to the shoulder, maybe just to your chest. And then up to the sky. I'm just making it up to like the corner of the ceiling there. Just do a couple more of these. Remember to breathe, even though this is not like cardiovascular or anything. Breathing is really good for the spine. Because even that little motion of the ribcage expanding and contracting is moving the spine. Okay, so we'll go next side. So left arm reaches out to your left, slightly behind you, externally rotate from the shoulder blade so that the thumb faces to the left now. That's already an intense stretch for me. And then right ear to right shoulder. Breathe, and then you can stay here, or option to look down to your right shoulder, and then look up over the left shoulder. Down. And go at your own pace. I'm gonna do about 4 in the time here, but you can go really slow and do just like 2 or even 1. Really feel it out. I'm just showing you the moves here. And this will be the last one for me. Okay, so you can remove that block and come into a tabletop position. You can do a few cat-cows here. So cat is, think angry Halloween cat. So you hug your navel to the spine, really tuck that tailbone, and then push the floor away from you. Your crown of the head can point to the floor, and then tailbone reaches to the ceiling, and your shoulder blades hug down your back, and you just look forward. You don't have to look up, you just look forward. And then tuck the tailbone, push the floor away, cat, and then forward, shoulder blades hug down the back for a cow. So just do 2 there. That's a good one for you to just do during the day too. You can even do it seated in a chair. So back to tabletop, and place your right hand behind your head, and we're going to tap the right shoulder to the inner left shoulder, and then come back to that neutral. So go do that a couple times. Headphone down. And the right hip is going to want to come along for the ride. Don't let it. So you have to engage your core here to keep your hips stable so that you get the twist in the thoracic spine. So that's the part of the spine that's attached to your rib cage. And because it's attached to so many bones, it has the least mobility. And then we'll stop in neutral, so facing down. Now we're going to do the other range of motion, so reaching up to the sky. So home base is here, and then press into the left hand, hug the shoulder blades together, and extend that right shoulder up to the sky. You can open the arm if you want, and then come back to the center. Now here, when you're reaching up, the left hip is going to want to come along for the ride. Don't let it. Use that core to keep the hips square as you open up your wings like an eagle. We'll just do 1 more here, and then we're going to combine those to get a full range of rotation. 1. Okay, so back to neutral, hand behind the head. So elbow to elbow. Don't let the right hip come up. Open up that wingspan. Don't let the left hip come. Push into the left hand to open your wings. Push into the left hand and hug the shoulder blades together. Let's just do 1 more. And I am feeling an intense burn in my core. Don't worry, you're not alone. And I'm not Superwoman. and that's 4. So here we can do cat-cow again just to work that out. So cat, cow, hug the shoulder blade down the spine. Cat, tuck the tailbone, hug your push the floor away. Cow, tailbone to the sky, shoulder blades down the back. Okay. You don't have to turn on your mat. I'm just turning to demonstrate. You can if you want. The more movement, the better, right? Okay, so now left hand behind your head, and then bring the left elbow into the inner right elbow, and then back to neutral. Don't let that left hip join the party. It is not invited. And we'll do one more. Cool. Now home base is here, and you're pushing into the right hand, shoulder blades squeeze together, and extend the left hand. Don't let that right hip join the party, and come back to neutral. So we do 4 here. Now full range of motion, so elbow to elbow, and then push into that right hand, shoulder blades together, open your wings. Elbow to elbow, press into that hand, open your wings. Don't let the right hip come along. And just one more. And 4. Perfect. What cat-cow looks from the front. Cat, push the crown away, tuck your tailbone under. Cow, tailbone to the sky, shoulder blades down the back. See, I'm just looking forward at you. You don't have to look up. Press the floor away. Shoulder blades down the back. Good, good, good. So since we're here, just lower yourself down onto your belly. This is prone position, and so this is Sphinx pose. It's a popular one in yin yoga. However, let me turn you this way. People just sink down into it, and you scrunch your back here, which I guess is fine, especially in yin yoga where you're holding it for minutes and minutes, but for our purposes, I'd like you to engage your core so that your belly button comes off the floor, and if you can, engage it a little more so that your hip bones come off, but not your pubic bone, so only your pubic bone is on the floor. And it's not too much glutes, so many glutes aren't on, it's just that core. Then just rotate your hands out. We're gonna do Sphinx to seal push-ups here, so you just straighten your elbows, bend your elbows. If you can't do the push-up, just stay and think about engaging that core and keeping the belly button away from the floor. But we're gonna do just 4 push-ups and then 4 holds in both positions, okay? So just 1, something cracked. 2, so especially as you lower down, think about that belly button hugging in so only the pubic bone is on the floor. And 1 more, 3. So hold, this is called seal. Just hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower down. Bring the hands back in so the arms are parallel. And we're just gonna hold this Sphinx for 4 seconds as well. Try to release your glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can collapse the belly down. So the next one, since we're already on our bellies, move blocks, is we're gonna get a nice chest stretch. So come into this T position, bring the left hand by your left chest and bend the left knee. Push into that left hand so So you come onto your right side body, and you should feel a stretch in your right pec, your chest area. And you come onto the right side of the head, and if the left foot can reach behind you, you can just lower the foot. Hold for a couple seconds here. And then just switch. You're doing 3 rounds of this, 3 levels, so just stay at the level that's appropriate for you. So back to the T, right hand by right chest, and then roll onto your left side. Let the left side of your head come down, and just feel the stretch in your left pec. Bring that right foot behind you. Bending the supporting foot can actually help too if you feel like that right foot can't come all the way back. Bend the left foot so they're both bent. Okay, roll back to the T. This time bring your hands to right angle, so like a stop sign. And this you'll feel it more in the pec. So left hand to left chest area. Roll onto your right side. And just breathe here. Again, if this one is too intense, just go back to the straight arm version. The straight arm version is a little bit easier because the stretch is shared by the entire length of the arm. You get it in the bicep and the chest, whereas this is all just chest mainly. Okay, come back to center. Stop sign with the arms. Right hand to right chest and turn onto your left side. Stay here for a bit because we stayed on the right side for a bit because I was teaching you some things. Back to center. Okay, so to get an even more intense stretch, so from instead of stop signs, stay cactus. So just still your elbows are still bent, but the elbows are just a little bit higher, so maybe at eye height, and then turn onto your side. So it's not necessarily more intense than the stop sign one, it's just a different part of your pec muscle area, so it may or may not be more intense for you. I know it is for me, this cactus version versus the stop sign version. And then up to center, cactus the arms, right hand to right chest area, push into it to come onto your left side. And then come back to center. Okay, so from there, bring both hands by your chest, and then we'll just do a knee push-up. So just push up to your knee to come back up. Here would be a good time to grab that block and sit on it. So we're going into Yogic Squat. So even if you don't need the block to necessarily stay up, I encourage you to use it because we want to be more restorative here and not have to think about, falling over. So Yogic Squat is, your feet can be as wide as you need them to be and as pointed out as you need them to be. Just don't let your knees cave in like that. If they are, engage your glutes to abduct the knees and then press into your big toe mound to lift your arches. And that should give you a lift and allow you to feel like you could seriously sit here for a while. But even though I can, I'm still going to use the block just because I don't want to extend more effort than I have to. And we want the spine to be really upright here. So if you are bending forward at all, even though you feel like you can stay there, please sit on something so the spine can be upright. So we're going to twist, and you want to twist an upright spine. You don't want to twist a hunched over spine. So from here, extend the right hand inside the right knee and point it to the floor. Don't reach for the floor. Remember, we want to keep the spine up. Just press into that right elbow to, again, open your wings. And they should be really open now because of all the other things we did and that chest stretch that we did. Tightness in our chest really can hamper posture. So we want to strengthen the back line of the body, but also open up that front line of the body. And switch. So bring your left arm inside, left elbow to left inner thigh. Press into it gently and hug your shoulder blades together to open those wings. So from right hand to left hand, you just want it to be a straight line. The right hand doesn't have to go behind your body like so, even though you can, because we're focusing on the spinal twist here, not necessarily the opening of the shoulder. I mean, you can, but it's not twisting your spine anymore. And we'll come back, we'll just do one more on each side. Remembering to breathe. Remember to keep the crown of the head pointing towards the ceiling so your spine is nice and long. And one more to the right. Think more about the shoulder blades hugging together rather than the right arm reaching back. And come back to center. And now coming into a squat without the block. Weight in the heels because we're going to just press up to a squat if you can. So engage those glutes, like I said. Press into your big toe, press into your whole foot, and push the hips forward in order to ta-da! So here we're just going to do some Pilates roll downs, I call them. So you're bending forward, but instead of with a straight spine, you're trying to reach forward. You almost want to curl down like a shrimp. So go chin to chest, then hunch your shoulders, hug your rib cage in, your belly button in, tuck your tailbone, and so you're keeping the head and the upper body close to the lower body. As you ragdoll down, one vertebra at a time, keep the glutes on so you're not tilting the pelvis at the end, and then squeeze the glutes even more to stack the spine. Hug the belly button in, stack the spine vertebra by vertebra, shoulder blades back to top, and then last the head comes up. That's really gonna just open up the space in between each spinal disc. It feels really good. It feels like almost nothing, but it's so powerful, especially if you do it all every day. So we'll do 3 more of those. So chin to chest, hunch the shoulders, suck in the rib cage, suck in the belly button, the pelvis, ragdoll down, keeping the glutes on. When you reach your lowest point, squeeze the glutes even more to untop the pelvis. Suck in the belly button, stack the spine, shoulders back, crown of head to ceiling. 2 more. Tuck the chin, shoulders, ribcage, belly button, pelvis. One spine at a time. Spine. One disc at a time. And I'm just going to get my face for this last one. Great. Okay. And now that block should be in the same spot because I didn't tell you to move it unless you took initiative on your own. Don't do that. So now we're just going to squat back down. So put your feet in your squat position and then squat down until you are sitting on that block. Dexter, come here. People can't see my alignment. My channel's called Alignmental, so they have to see my alignment. Yes, I do love you. I know, you're gonna be a star too. Yeah. Especially when they see your form and your physique. Yeah. Okay. So keeping the left leg in this bent leg, the squat position. Extend the right leg to the side and slightly out in front of you. It doesn't have to be like a full split. Then take the right hand on the left ankle or anywhere on the shin, because you're going to use that for leverage to lean to the side. So hand up to the sky, chest is facing forward, and you're leaning to the side without bending forward. You want to create space on that side now and use that right hand to support you. And get an even stretch. So you want to round over to the right instead of only hinging at the waist or only at the shoulders. You want an even stretch here. So you should make like a nice rainbow rather than a hairpin. And you're just holding it here. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then come back up. Bring that right foot back to the squat position. Extend the left leg. Left hand to right shin. Right hand up to the sky. Use that left bicep to lower you to the side and get an even stretch. So think about as you lean to the left, that right side of your ribcage still wants to reach to the sky. So you're lifting up and bending rather than sinking like so. Reach up and over. And then use that left bicep and your sideways to come back up. Okay, guys, I have to show the people something. Okay, and that's the end of the routine. I just want to demonstrate for you guys a really restorative posture that you can do at home with 2 books or pillows. Blocks are ideal though, but firm pillows can be good too. So you place one so. I'm going to do it on this height, but you can also do it on the lower height. One's going to be for your head and one's going to be for your shoulder blades. We'll see Dexter. The lower part, the lower line here, will go at the bottom of your shoulder blades. Get comfortable. Takes a little bit of wiggling to get onto, but once you do, it's magical. And then find that back block and just put it at the base of your skull so that you're looking at the sky. So you don't want to be like here too much over the scrunched neck. Just so that your chin is pointing the same direction as your clavicle, which is this here, where a necklace would sit. And then you just open your hands so your palms are facing the ceiling, and let your shoulder blade come together and let that chest move. This is just really nice to counteract the forward flexion of that thoracic spine, the part of the spine that's connected to the rib cage. It tends to round forward. I mean, not that it tends to. We pull it forward when we're reaching for keyboards and mouses and phones, right? It comes forward, so this just reverses that. Because it's not that that forward flexion is bad. It's a motion of our spine. It's just that we do it so much and we don't do this opposite one enough. So we want to balance it out. Likewise, our lower spine, the lumbar spine here that has a lot of mobility because it doesn't have a rib cage attached to it, it tends to do this, right? Like arch. So here, just find a slight tucking of your tailbone so that it's not so arched and scrunched. Just allow it to be flat if you can. And you guys are welcome to just stay there for as long as your little heart's desire, because it's nothing but beneficial for you at this point. So I will just sign off and slowly come out of it if, when you're ready. This video's already long enough. So, night night.